What's more important, talent or star quality? Well, it depends on who you ask. If you ask Bang PD, he'll say star quality. If you ask genuine music enjoyers, they'll probably say talent. Today, we're gonna break down what star quality is, how it can affect an artist's career, and figure out which is more important for an artist's success. For me personally, I'm gonna choose talent every time, because at the end of the day, I am here to listen to good music. Like, when it comes to K-pop survival shows, I always vote for the talented contestants over anything else, because talent breeds good music. But that's just my opinion. Now, let's establish what star quality is. At least in my eyes. Star quality is the rare, almost intangible presence that makes someone's presence magnetic, making people want to watch, listen, and be a fan of them, basically. People with star quality project a clear sense of self. It shows in the way they carry themselves, communicate, and connect, turning even simple moments into something memorable and iconic. Ultimately, star quality is less about looks or perfection, and more about an undeniable magnetism. It's not defined by a single trait or a rigid formula, but rather by varying combinations of distinctiveness, effortless charisma, confidence, and authenticity, which manifest differently in each artist. No two artists express it in the exact same way. I see so many people say that star quality is just about looks or visuals, but I heavily disagree. If star quality was all about looks, then just about anyone would have it, you know? Looks can only take you so far as a celebrity, especially if you're a musical artist. Looks can oftentimes play a part, sure, but it's not as important of an ingredient for star quality as most people think. When I think of star quality, my mind automatically goes to artists like Manon, Lara, Tyla, Beyonce, Jisoo, jennie, Wonyoung, and Michael Jackson. Artists who have an alluring presence, no matter the situation. That's star quality. Now, if you're someone like Bang P, and it's literally your job to produce successful artists, it makes sense that he would prioritize star quality over talent. Because let's face it, star quality may not always breed good music, but it can produce big money consistently. Now, more than ever, you don't need talent to do good on the charts or make good money being a singer, especially in the K-pop industry. As long as you have a good concept and brand and a good team, you'll do fine. Can star quality, without talent, make you a successful artist? Yes, if you have the right backing, especially good producers and people making your music. Can talent without star quality make you a successful artist? Yes, but in my opinion, we've seen more artists with minimal talent, but good star quality accumulate large, loyal fan bases that sticks by their sides no matter what. But on the other hand, we barely see artists with good talent, but no star quality accumulate big, loyal fan bases. They'll probably do good on the charts sporadically and have some hits, but when it comes to having a loyal fan base that would buy 100 variants of one album, that's not happening. If anything, they'd be more carried by the general public than having a loyal fan base. This isn't the case for every artist that falls under this category, but most. So again, it depends on your perspective. A music lover like me would choose talent over star quality, and someone whose literal job is to make money by producing successful artists would choose star quality. But it's kind of different when it comes to groups. In a group, it's all about balance. Oftentimes, you don't want one member to heavily outshine the other members, but sometimes it's just bound to happen. In a group, it's okay to have one or two members who may not be as talented as the rest, but have that it factor, you know, the stan attractors. But even for groups nowadays, I'd say that if you want to keep a loyal fan base, star quality is more important than talent. That's why in the K-pop industry, we're seeing more and more companies choose to debut idols who can barely sing, but they are good at attracting more and more stans. I think the best example of this is RU Next. I won't go too into detail, but if talent was more important in the K-pop industry today, then Jiwoo would have debuted 100%. Now, there's also the other cases of artists having not just star quality, but talent as well. If an artist has both, then there's a very low chance they won't succeed. Some examples of this would be Beyonce, Lara, or maybe even Katseye as a group. One of the main reasons why Katseye is so successful is because they have that it factor, and all the members are so talented. They were destined to win from the beginning. And sometimes there's those artists who have star quality, but it either needs to be refined or it doesn't shine, whilst they're being forced to be a type of artist they don't connect with. We saw this with Girl Set back when they were known as VCHA, when they were forced to do that cutesy, bright, friendship is magic concept. Barely anyone was tuning in, because none of the girls shined under that concept. But now that they're Girlzette, the members are shining so much more. If you don't connect with the type of artist your record, label, or company is forcing you to be, that it factor will not shine. Of course, there's other factors, but for the sake of this video, we're focusing on star quality. This also reminds me of Tyla, and how she said in an interview how her record label initially wanted her to do a more generic, mainstream sound like bubblegum pop. Rather, she do Afrobeats, a sound she connects with heavily. She would not shine as much as she does now if she did music and did a concept she does not connect with. So that's definitely important. I also want to examine the broader consequences of K-pop companies and record labels increasingly prioritizing star quality over talent. From a business standpoint, this approach is understandable. The primary objective is sustained revenue growth. However, this strategy often comes at the expense of debuting charismatic performers, as natural talent becomes less of a determining factor in the selection process. K-pop companies nowadays are increasingly prioritizing star quality over talent, but in doing so, they often debut idols who lack the very qualities that make star quality meaningful in the first place. What is often presented as charisma instead comes across as overly rehearsed movement, rather than something genuine or instinctive. These idols may function effectively as stan attractors, possessing enough surface-level appeal to draw in stans. But when it comes to being an actual musical artist and performing on stage and showcasing their abilities, that perceived it factor often fails to translate. That star quality doesn't show in 4th and 5th gen performances because K-pop companies are ignoring the talent aspect so much. And this is one of the many reasons why people say K-pop is so boring nowadays, offering polished images without the depth or dynamism that once made K-pop and its performances so compelling. I think a good example of this is Karina from aespa. She embodies the modern it girl image and clearly functions as a stan attractor, possessing the kind of magnetic aura often associated with star quality. However, that presence does not always translate as strongly in aespa's live stage performances. By contrast, in non-performance contexts, such as brand campaigns, photo shoots, or public appearances, her star quality becomes far more apparent. This suggests that while she has that magnetic aura, it manifests more effectively in visual and branding spaces than in musical performance settings. And this isn't me saying she's untalented or anything, so please don't take this the wrong way. Moving on, the contrast in overall ability between earlier generations, particularly the 2nd and 3rd and many 4th and 5th generation groups, is increasingly noticeable. While this is not to suggest that all newer idols lack talent, nor that newer groups are incapable of producing quality music, there is a growing sense that ambition and exceptional skill are no longer being prioritized at the same level. When industry leaders, such as Bang PD, openly state that star quality takes precedence over talent, it is reasonable to assume that this mindset is shared by many executives across the industry. The focus has shifted toward debuting stan attractors, individuals who can rapidly grow fan bases, rather than artists whose abilities might push musical or performance boundaries. As a result, end-of-year stages often feel formulaic, and performances increasingly rely on backing tracks, reflecting a broader reluctance to spotlight raw vocal ability. I hope all of this makes sense. In short, K-pop's growing emphasis on stan appeal over talent has reduced star quality to a surface-level branding tool, resulting in visually polished idols whose presence often fails to translate into dynamic, charismatic, musically compelling performances. I touch on this topic a bit more in this video, which you can watch on my channel, but all in all, it depends on your perspective. Me personally, I will choose talent every time. But please, give me your thoughts in the comments below so we can get a discussion going, and I'll see you in the next one.